Woo! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up with everybody in here? Got another one today, boy. Got another one today to talk about some real shit. Now you on time, man. We got Namer. We got TD Game. How's that Madden 23 going? Woo! We got Philip D. Redden Jr. Woo! Walaikum salam, brother. Oh, man. Today's show is going to be an interesting topic. It may be so interesting, I might even lose some goddamn subscribers. But we're going to talk about some real stuff today. We're going to talk about the reasons why. Woo! Rand Rising, Volcanus. Woo! With the $5 secret chat. Thank you, bruh. We can never talk about Volcanus and why he doesn't support. We can never talk about TD Game, Namer, or Phillip, and others. Carl, what's up? But we're going to talk about this Black Manosphere and what halts his progression. We're going to talk about it. Calvin Rogers, what's up? Salute. going to talk about some real stuff today. And the question you have to ask, the real reasons why black men do not support their interests. I'll start off number one, because you really don't believe in it. You don't believe that you're really the leaders of the community. You don't believe that you should be. You don't believe in power. You never raised to be powerful. You were raised to serve. You were raised to let your lady take the lead. Let whatever your mama say is gold. Whatever your boss on the job. You were never told that you could be the supervisor. You could be the manager. You could be the president. You were never told to go get your education so you don't have to depend on anybody. You were told to go get a job to help pay for bills that your mama created. But your sister and your female cousins around your same age were pushed for education, and you were pushed for labor and service. They will actually take females on the sergeant exam, especially for the oral board, getting ready for it. They'll have them come in an hour, maybe 2 hours early to quiz them and drill them. But a brother, they act like they only got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to coach them up. You're never told that your interests are worth a damn. You've always told to put everybody else around you, to carry everybody on your back till it's broken, to work till you sweat to your brow, to go to the grave earlier than your counterparts. That's reason one why you don't support your interests. A lot of you are afraid to get out the shadow and say, I am a man, and I'm unapologetically masculine about it. See, masculinity is not about the domination of women. See, masculinity is about the domination of oneself. Somebody please write that shit in the chat. I shall be the captain of my destiny and the master of my fate. I don't give a damn if I'm living in a $5 million mansion or a $5 cardboard box. I'm still a man who deserves dignity and respect. What's up, Bucket? Another reason why you don't support your interests. Because you're afraid of what the women will say. Oh, hello. 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 Give me a woo on that one. Give me a woo on that one, boy. You afraid what the women will say. You right. You right, TD. When a man takes charge, he a dick or an asshole for it, but everybody gets to be saved because of it. See, we're gonna go into this part real in depthly. You afraid of what the women may say. Y'all need to give me my woos for that one. You afraid that the women on your job are gonna go to HR, even though they can flaunt their sexuality and their horror stories all around. You afraid that the women in your family are going to start chirping in your ear like birds. You're afraid to tell them the truth because you might not get none that night. You're afraid because that woman won't be able to take what's really good. Once again, stop wearing it. The more men we have in power, the more men we have educated, trained, the more orderly things are ran. When you make yourself valuable, it's very hard to replace you. Just want to put you out there like that. When you make yourself valuable, insert reason number one into reason number two, there's a lot less to be afraid. Stop trying to kiss females' asses for their interest and validation. I've said this so many times. A female likes a man who stands on a square, not someone who kisses their ass to do whatever they want, because a female is not above using a man, but that used man can never truly be respected. That used man is actually repulsed and repulsive to that woman. Reason number three, you don't support your interests. Diligence and hard work. You don't believe in diligence and hard work. I hate to I hate to use somebody else's stick, but we share and share alike in these spaces. Kevin Samuels, hallowed be thy name, said it best. If you're a young man out there, you're supposed to be on that grind. You don't work because of a woman, you work because of your goals. Where's your discipline? Where's your hard work? Where's your fortitude? What's that old Army cadence? Hard work, work. For much is given, much shall be required. Please put that in the chat. For much is given, much shall be required. It's like my boy TD, game in here. He's putting in quality content with the Madden, entertaining the masses. The masses are entertained. Yes, the masses should support him. You should support people who work hard and speak up on your behalf. If you're going to work a job, put in at least 2 more hours each day, if you can, for overtime. Put in a little bit of overtime. At least put in 5 hours a week, and then gradually increase till you get to your goals. Give an extra 30 minutes to an hour study. When you have that extra income, you can give that extra income and support your YouTube and political purposes. Excuse me for a moment, folks. I'm back. Yes. Yes, Mel. You must reinvest and learn new skills. Each year, you should have a goal to accomplish. The more you have in your savings, the more you can support content creators, the more you can support political figures, the more your voice gets heard. I understand. Well, I'm struggling with this job. We all are. I'm not saying we got to be six-figure men, but what I do say is, hey, while you're healthy, work it. What you gonna do? Waste your time? I like gaming like the next nigga. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta grind. I even tell people this. Let's say you're off on the weekends, right? You grind like hell on the weekdays, and the weekends you don't do shit but leisure. You want to go out with your boys, you want to play the game, you want to go collect comic books, want to go chill with the shorties. That's the weekend. And you never interrupt your grind time for anybody or anything unless there's an incredible emergency. Meaning your kids are sick or in the hospital or your peoples. Another reason why you don't support your interests is because you're jealousy, you're envy. Mm, jealousy's a motherfucker, as they always say in the saying. You don't support your interests because you're jealous of your brother. I know my viewership is gonna go down to the toilet. I know it. You got some guys out there who look at content creators, dudes on the job, their family members, and they're jealous of them. For what? When they can accomplish the same thing. Oh, we get into that. We get into that, TD. We're gonna get to that pride thing. We'll get to that pride thing next. I've never understood how can you be jealous of your friends, your brother, your partner. You will hate on a guy, say whatever, because he's shining. Instead of actually taking the courage and the nobility and the honor to say, hey, brother, congratulations. How did you get this, man? Teach me. Teach me. And the brother usually is going to take you under his wing and tell you step by step. Oh, that's not true. That is not true at all. Because, one, how many times have people supported? And I'm going to ask you this one, D. Who did you support? And that'll say a lot. Who did you support? Who did you support? A lot of guys say a lot of stuff, but they won't tell you who did you support. I'm going to tell you this one. Jealousy is the issue. And trust me, anybody and everybody will have a chance to agree or disagree once I get done. So don't wait. We're going to get into this real nice. A lot of this stuff when it comes to jealousy. I've heard what people said about different content creators. Not going to name names. Some people blew up and there was some jealousy. Some people sabotaged another person's content, not naming names. But there was a heap of jealousy that everybody's got to be the main attraction. There's enough slice of the bread and the fish for everyone to eat. I'm going to repeat it again. There's enough of the slice of bread. Now, there you go. Thank you for the super chat. Woo! And trust me, when people support me, it goes to the business. It goes to that kid or another kid out there who wants to get his gun permit. who wants to get a security license, his private detective license. I'm putting people to fucking work. Not just for me, but for other companies as well. Yes, this is a put your money where your mouth is type of thing. And salute to you to the donation. Exactly, Bucket. They don't realize we're all in this together. What is this? My saying, my brother, my champion, my savior. I'm going to put out merchandise with that on it. Lo and behold, lo and behold, we're going to talk about my brother, my champion, my savior. And the difference of it is that we have jealous ass people. We hate instead of congratulate. This is a trait that we carry over from our community, our culture. So many times we see a brother make it out. We think the brother who doesn't talk with slang, who doesn't say things with a certain vernacular, who might have had a better life structure than the average, we call him a sellout. And the reason why we call him a sellout sometimes is because of that fucking jealousy. Oh, you didn't have to struggle like my family. Newsflash, not everybody's going to struggle. A human being cannot help in the class or the family they're in. But at the same time, he might not have been in the projects, but imagine the pressure he was put on going to private school, going to have good grades, going to act like a certain type of individual. People from middle class families or upper middle class, you got to remember, now all that glitters is damn sure not gold. Look at how we treat our intellectuals in this space, especially when they first came. Hell, let's go back into Kevin. When Kevin was like, hey, get a suit, get a couple of them, get some shoes, get a necktie, tie the tie, tie your necktie into a bow tie. And niggas, instead of actually saying, you know what, he's got a point, they talk shit about the man. But only when he was handing these chicks their asses on live on live viewership on YouTube, that's when he was your man. And I have to say to a lot of people, where were you when the motherfucker gets started? You right, bit of truth. But as black men, we're not the devil. We got more heat for our brother than the chick who even taking us downtown or keeping the kids away from you. You got more heat for a man that's trying to make it than the bitches who lie on you at the job. That's why jealousy is a curse in our community. Another reason why we don't support our interests is because we don't respect our differences. Hello. 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 I don't give a damn if you're a Jew, Christian, Muslim, Pan Africanist, atheist. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative? Aren't you still a black man in America who's going to be treated the same goddamn way? They didn't say enslave the black Republicans. Excuse me for a moment. Nope, nope, nope. Not in the bathroom. Had a business call about this program for veterans with businesses, and I just entered for these classes. Okay. Deesky said, let's not ignore the fact that our content creators' behavior has been less than admirable in many cases. It's a multi-layered problem. I'm seeing what a lot's been going on. I'm seeing a lot. Trust me, I'm in the know. I'm in the know. I'm in the freaking know. Namer said it comes from a sense of powerlessness in many black men. They'll dominate who they think are allowed to dominate. I'll tell you what I'll tell you what a lot of stuff comes down to. A lot of stuff comes down to one, being around women for so goddamn long, you pick up their characteristics. You become catty. You know what's worse than a catty man? A catty woman? A catty ass man. Always got to talk on something. Always got to talk about somebody. Instead of actually doing something to damn selves, they got to talk about somebody else. Instead of actually talking about things that affect black men and how we should apologize to the black women, guess what? Women are not even our top two priorities. Besides institutional racism and lack of economics and capital, women might be third or fourth. And really, according to this whole controversy with passports and everything, guess what? They may be damn near by the end of the year next year. They may be 20th on the list. Because slowly but surely, black women are getting black men's indifference. We're no longer going to have the loyalty. We're no longer going to be given the sad stories. We're going to be, what have you done for me lately? Another reason, a lot of black men don't like to support their interests. There's times when black men don't like the truth. I know. See, if I had some broad on my live stream and I'm going back and forth arguing and debunking her, I would have 150 people watching me right now. Think about that. I have almost 3,200 subscribers and I'm struggling to get 30. I want you to think about that numerically right now. I got 3,200 subscribers and I can barely get 30 to watch me. But you got guys like Amiri Brown getting in 70 to 100 and something, 150 people watching him while he spews lies. That makes you want to say, see, a lot there are brothers out there who don't like the truth. There are brothers out there who don't like it when you say, hey, you got to be a better man. What you mean I need to improve? Because you're doing the same shit that women do. See, we are human doings, they're human beings. You expect a woman to have that nonchalant, nonsensical thing about her. You know why? Because at the end of the day, your value does not falter unless you falter. The more you do, the more you can screw. That's why old 80-year-old millionaires can get the most beautiful women in the world. They got something in exchange. Shout out to D-Ski again. How many of these content creators have we taken out of poverty for them to tell us how broke we are? That's facts. That's facts. See, you know the reason why I don't really get into the economics of shit? Because one, I don't know everybody's pockets. I don't pocket watch. I don't pocket watch. And we got a bad habit of doing that in our community. We pocket watch each other. We try to say people are broke, but you don't know that other men struggle. We don't like to talk about the truth. We want to talk about somebody being broke, but just a few minutes ago, a few months ago, you were not making it really well yourself. That's why you don't pocket watch, because it's very easily you can be in that rut. Very easily you could be in shambles. In this fucked up economy, in this fucked up world, you don't know what can happen. You're right, Namer. It's funny how all I gotta do was say some shit that pleases women and lie instead of telling the truth. Well, yeah, these black women are struggling out here, and they doing the best they can with these no good niggas. There's not one of them that's good. You just because you have six baby daddies don't mean you don't know how to choose a man. It's just a man don't know how to choose you. No, no. What makes it really disgusting that black men don't like the truth, not all, but some, or they don't represent the truth, is because once again, you're developing a lot of the characteristics of your women, being around them so much. You don't like a challenge to somebody, to your reality, to your spear. It's like being in the military when you're in boot camp. You're going to find out who the real you is going to be real soon. You can't fake it. If you're not in shape to do it, you're going to find out, and it's going to be for everybody to bear witness and see very easily. You'll see the people who are there speaking on behalf of black men and the black women that support. That's going to be very easy to pick out. Here's another why people don't like, black men don't like to support their interests. They get fixated on one thing and one thing only. I said this before. We've already got the talking points out. Thank you, Kevin, when he made it mainstream. Thank you, others. You know, BGS, Angry Man, others. Part two was getting the intelligentsia involved. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, Green Gorilla. Thank you, Ronald Neal. Thank you, you know, Nicole Ali. Thank you, Dr. Dunbar. That was a very prominent thing because these people work and have colleagues in the intelligentsia, in the institutions of higher learning. Phase three, like a goddamn DCEU or Marvel movie, is now the push to support political power. Up, up, up. I've said it once and I say it again. Black men need to stop praying for leaders. We need to start grooming leaders. Somebody put that in the chat, please, for prosperity. A lot of dudes don't support because they're fixated on one thing. Tell these bitches off. Tell these bitches off was yesteryear. Build political power is now. And we don't want to talk about that one. Kevin opened the door to a lot of other content creators, but apparently some people weren't ready for their close ups. Some people were going to get exposed. Some people were not ready. Underrated. What's up, brother? Rashid, what's up? See, the problem with it is that when you fixated on one part, yeah, tell these bitches what's up. Tell them what's up. You forget there's other steps you need to go. It's like going into a household. You're on the first or second step and you're stagnant. You're just standing there. You're not in the bedroom. You're not in the bathroom. You're not where you need to go. How can you say all we need to do was just browbeat these bitches and things will get better for us? Superfly gamer cool. Some said I have a friend that had nothing. 49-year-old living with his mom all his life, helped him get his life together, even gave him my bed, and I slept on the couch. Now he's got a little money and give me his ass to kiss. Well, that's the fucked up part. See, money shows you who people truly are. Okay? Money shows you who people truly are. You're either gonna have people who are gonna blow money real fast, or you're gonna have people who invest in it. You're gonna have people who actually invest in other people. What's shameful is we got to learn these lessons one way or another. Because the next time you fall, you might not help that friend out. You might be like, I got my own shit to deal with. But you should never be ashamed for giving a brother a helping hand. I commend you on that. You should never be ashamed. Sometimes you just gotta you gotta just use it and chalk it up to life lessons. Even though my friends, we may crack on each other, say some really crazy shit to each other. Sometimes if you outside, people may think it's fucked up. But I got nothing but love. If I have the capabilities of helping them, I will help. If they have the capabilities of helping me, they will help without question. You're right, Bitter. Bitter said kiss his ass. And people wonder why I stay to myself. Exactly. It's very hard to get people to get galvanized with bullshit that happened to you, Superfly. And see, shit like that, which is going to roll into my next statement. The reason why it's people do not support their interests is exactly what Superfly Gamer stated. Because once you support them, then they forget about you. Mm, 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 mm. We're going to dig deep today, buddy boy. How can you be a creator of content and not look out for the next man? How can you be a person of this so called brotherhood and not look out for a brother in need? And then when it's your chance to help somebody out, you don't support them. And there's a reason why guys like, D-Ski feels a certain way. Because if you're a faithful supporter, that's because you believe in that person and their message. But how many times in these spears we get nothing for our prayers? We get nothing for our tithes. If you're not coming back, either being highly entertained, relieved of your stress, educated, enlightened, what the fuck are you doing? There's times on my panels where we had to talk guys down because they were about to either hurt themselves or hurt somebody else. That something about that just is just not right. We'll let a brother struggle, and I do mean struggle. Hold on for a second, folks. Speaking of business, I really think it's funny, right? That when I started my security and private detective business, that my ex-girlfriend at the same time started her paralegal business. And we look out for each other because I'll send her clients who need contracts and she'll send me places where she needs paperwork to be served. And if she's coming along with me, she's paying me executive protection prices to keep her protected. It goes back to what Bitter Truth said. The biggest issue is reciprocity. What the fuck do you get back for what you have given? I remember, and I don't even brag on half the stuff that I do. I took, I take pleasure doing nice shit sometimes. Not because I have to, it's because I would like to. You don't know what, you don't know how brothers are struggling. You don't know what they're going through. But we judge very quickly. We judge very quickly. Instead of actually giving and getting respect, we give the respect and get shitted upon, defecated on, even urinated. The one thing I gotta say, stop pissing on brothers' legs and tell them it's fucking raining. Stop putting shit on a plate and telling brothers it's German chocolate fucking cake. Now you're right. That sometimes these selfish ways are developed because of your selfish ass parents. I remember me and my mother got in a heated discussion about shit like this. And I said, when the hell have I been selfish to you? When the hell have I been selfish to you? Well, I work 2 jobs to take care of you and your brother. And I'm like this. We're happy and grateful, but here's the thing. Why have you made it a living hell dealing with you majority of the time? We weren't out there running the streets. We were video games and freeze tag kind of kids. We were chills. Once in a while, we might go to the movies. But you insult us. You treat us like fucking burdens. Where's the reciprocity of saying, you know what? I'm proud of my sons. I never had to chase them one damn time down fucking juvenile bookings. I never had to chase them one time down fucking central bookings. But a lot of the shit that we get as black men in this space, we don't give any reciprocity to our brothers. We don't leave them with at least some knowledge, at least some hope. At least when you tithe in black church, you get hope. You got hope. You could at least go another week without trying to hurt somebody or hurt yourself. But what the fuck did we get here? Man, I'm about to. If you want me to open this panel up, if you want me to open up the panel, give me a goddamn woo. You know, that's right. A lot of fucking sons pay the price. Trust me. You ain't paid no fucking price in the black community until you named after your father. Mm. Mm. Somebody need to put that shit in the chat. You don't pay a heavy price until you're named after your fucking father. Every iniquity and perceived sin your father commit, you are going to bear that cross like it's a fucking boulder. Mm. Boy, don't get me started on some shit, boy. People say, well, like my friends used to think my life was so peachy clean. I said, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You dealt with half the shit I had to deal with, you probably would have jumped off a building. Many of the times we don't support is because a lot of brothers were fixated on pretty thumbnails and cutesy little accents. How is it that a chick can have the same fucking talking points as all the men in this space, have all the experience of being a man, but the bitches are the highest paid and donated? Mm, 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 mm. Well, just to tell you, Wayne Brady, this is the reason why I usually do shows later at night, because people don't call. Unfortunately, you never know when you got to be Superman. Unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, the bit of truth, aka Lucifer Morningstar.
Hi, how are you all?
Huh.
I have a quick question
Yes,
because I
sir.
missed it because I was in the middle of the transition. What were you saying about foreign accents and pretty avatars,
Oh,
fake
yes.
pretty avatars?
See, here's my problem. How can, and how old are you, bitter?
Fitty,
You're 50, right?
yeah,
I'm 40. And we're pretty experienced men, right?
I would say so. Yes.
How does a 20 something year old, not hating, from Great Britain, an early 20 something year old, can talk on the points that you and I lived?
Well, I mean, it's just really, in all honesty, I never understood. I understood the gimmick. Okay, I understood the gimmick. But I never understood why people stuck to the gimmick after about a week or so, because what you're listening to somebody that's regurgitating
Yes.
black male talking points. That's all it was. It's
Without
just
even
a regurgitation.
without being a black male or the black male experience.
And I'm gonna be honest, the way it came across like it was a psych student doing an experiment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if people still over there or still mess around over there, but to me, that's how it comes across, like a psych student that's doing an experiment.
And I haven't seen her in like months, really. A couple of months.
Really? You mean they haven't been online for a couple of months, or you haven't been over there for a couple of months?
Well, I haven't seen. Usually, I get when they come on, and I haven't seen them.
Oh, well, maybe the experiment's over. I don't know. I can't call it. Sometimes that happens.
Listen,
Um,
I mean, how could the females be the higher grossing and the black manosphere? Get it, manosphere. The females have the bigger channels, the greater support, the bigger cash apps, the bigger super chats, the
well, I
bigger
didn't want to get into
audience.
this. I didn't want to get into this because I remember years ago when Jason Black had promoted this chick Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
and we had some of us had already knew about her, and we knew she didn't like black men. Okay, all that George Zimmerman popping bottles tweets and stuff came up, but the only reason why she was getting any type of publicity is because somebody thought. Well, you had a lot of somebodies who thought that she was cute, and that's really what they're banking on. They are banking on their likability. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Okay, prime example. I ain't got nothing against your girl Melanie King. Nothing against you. Know I made the video defending her and everything, but her show is now she's now taking over the female Kevin Samuels space.
Oh,
Her and what's the other chick that was talking
Kendra,
smack about
Kendra
him?
G, Kendra G. But now
Yeah,
now,
Kendra G.
now she sees how disillusioned.
Right, first you talk shit about the guy, you turn around, stole his platform, and now you as far as his whole system of operating, and now you understand exactly where he was coming from. Now you understand where Ayana Van Zant was coming from. Now you understand where all these other female dating coaches where they were coming from.
Let's talk a truth because you've been in the pro black community for decades, right?
Wait, stop. Okay, go ahead. Ask the question because I'm sure I can tie it in.
You've been because I've been in the pro community. See, I don't even talk about the pro black communities that I've been in. I've been in the
Okay.
Big Man March when I was in eighth grade. Okay, that's how
What year
far
was that? 96?
90, 90.
Had to be 96.
96, 90. No, that was 95. 90, either 96 or 95.
90. It had to be 96 because I believe it was in. It wasn't 94. It was
It was. It
96.
probably was 90.
When was the Olympic bomb?
Well, the Olympics was 96, so it had to be
When was
96.
the Olympic? Oh, it doesn't matter. Go on.
So let's just say
It doesn't matter. Go on.
let's just say it, because every time I listen to a female content creator who tries to take those talking points, I tend to look at them like great. Marcus said 95. I look at it like Greek value version of Shahrazad Ali, and it's funny, right?
Shahar. Okay, because go on.
How was
Okay.
how was Shahrazad Ali treated when she came out with her books?
Oh my God. Do understand? I was in my 20s when that happened. I was in my mid 20s and I was deeply in the conscious movement when that happened. Okay. Um. It was a mixed bag. You had a lot of pushback from the women, but the men were, they were loud hosannaing and whatnot. And the book, we couldn't keep the book on the shelves. We used because what we would do, we would just order books normally like 3 at a time, you know.
Yeah,
But because we had heard that the book was so hot because she was going on Donahue and all that, she was getting national exposure. This is the point of national exposure, and no such thing as bad press. Is because even OJ with his book, if I'd have done it, I guarantee you he sold enough to make a profit. It may not have been a bestseller, but I guarantee you he sold enough to make a profit. My point was that we had to start ordering it in 20 packs because it was so profitable. I don't know where my copy is, but I've had a couple of copies. I've had females steal my copies of her book. Just as bad as brothers was stealing NWA's Straight Outta Compton cassette.
yeah.
I don't know who's stealing my Mon Comps, but it's stolen. They were getting stolen, and the book is actually a very good read. It's a very good and easy to read intro into the psyche of Black women, and it still holds true today. It's all that princess complex, but right now what you're dealing with is the spoiled princess complex.
See, right now what you're dealing with is
Where the princes don't want to be bothered.
you got the spoiled princess complex with whore culture.
Mix it all in, and you got a big problem.
You got whore culture. And see, here's the fucked up part about it, right? You get
And by the way, hey Charles. Oh shit. Hey Charles. Don't forget, if you're a guy or you're a woman, you need to pick up her other book, The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. Let's not forget she wrote 2 different books.
Oh yeah.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, what's up, Snowman? What's up, Dari?
What's going on, Charles?
I'll tell you one thing about it.
What's up, Snow?
Hey, what's going on?
It's so funny.
I hope I did. Was I breaking up?
For a little bit, but you're good now. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the support Black men don't get is because Black men.
All right, yeah.
A lot of the support Black men don't get is because we allow other interests to come in here, and just because you got a chick who she going at these chicks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always good and handy, but the manosphere should always be led by the men.
Period.
It's the reason why you are second-class citizens in your own fucking community. This is the reason. I already told you, the simp is very hard to exercise from his body.
Mm-hmm.
You get a person with a pretty accent and a pretty thumbnail, and they could make about $3,000 a stream.
Yeah.
And where's that money going to come back to? It's not going to be to support another brother.
No, it's not.
It's not going to be able to support another brother getting on his feet, getting a job, getting nothing. When the fuck do you see the women who infiltrated this space actually get back to the men who support them?
You don't.
No!
You don't.
And here's the craziness about it. You got people that says we need to prove ourselves. When you looking at them like, motherfucker, how long have you known me?
Bitch, you ain't got shit to prove.
It's already been
You ain't got shit to prove.
Doggone thing to prove.
It's already been
No,
proved.
not you. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. The people who were saying you got to prove something, you got to look at them and say, ain't you got something to prove?
Mm-hmm.
Have you proven yourself? Who are you to tell me to prove myself?
You know, that's why I went over there when she was on that panel. And I said, what fucking consequence are you to me?
Good answer.
What consequence are you to me?
Just when you think you know somebody, they reveal their real side to you.
Because I've told you, there's some snakes, and I've seen them beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I've confronted these snakes, and I said, don't think you pulling one on a nigga.
And yet sometimes they still think they are.
And as soon as you keep saying this rhetoric, I know it's you. You're not being bought. You're not being paid for. You're not going through no suffrage.
Sorry, it's raining out here.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
It's no different when I ask Chaos, do you really be rocking with Amiri? And what do you say over there? I said, why don't you set it up for Amiri to come over here so we can have a one-on-one chat?
You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. You already saw what BGS went through. Why would you want to put yourself through that? Because he called himself trying to challenge me. I was like, I don't have the patience for that bullshit.
I said, because I'm gonna ask some very key things like the two females from his camp who came over here, and it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
You keep saying black men don't want relationships, but yet we're 600,000 to 700,000 more married, and you outnumber us by 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
You say black men fucked up the black community. Did black men leave once black women were eligible to get welfare?
No.
We were pushed out.
They were forced out.
Forced out.
Here's my question.
And haven't been invited back since.
Nope. I said,
hey, Bitter, hold on a second.
I'm gonna just say this real quick, Namer. I said, but yet, when I hear about this, y'all want to be patriarchs and all this. When the fuck were you a patriarch? When the fuck were you? If you're a patriarch, guess what? The women in your family will listen.
Yeah, that's
Last
true.
time I checked, you have a daughter that has a child out of wedlock. Did she listen to you?
No.
Nope. Or maybe she did. Or maybe she did.
And did the complete opposite. So guess what?
No. She probably did exactly what her mother told her to do. Go out here and get it, honey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like that social worker telling the 14-year-old, the prostitute herself, you think mothers don't talk to their daughters like that? How else do you think you get a Brittany Renner or these fucking Instagram models? How do you? I mean, they don't just soon as they turn 18, they just magically become whores. Like, no, that was already in them, just based on home training.
You just said the key phrase, home training. They've been coached up for that.
Yeah, they've been coached up for that. Now that they're legal, they go out and they exercise their options. Why do you think you have mom at the porno shoot holding the daughter's hair back while some guy splooges on her face?
In her face.
Yeah.
Fellas,
this rent got to get paid. We got to need this money, honey.
Oh, man. Did you have to now, please, Bitter? You know what you just did to me? You know what you just did? When you said the whole distance, you just triggered a memory in my head. You triggered a memory in my head. Those audio clips, the memory of Lex Steele when he does his money shots.
he you know what, he all right. He's not a bad dude.
But I'm gonna tell you. But I'm gonna
in reading this comment from Charles
All I
Irby,
can say is Vegas.
if in reading this comment from Charles Irby, Charles, may I request making a plea, please?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Folks, I'm gonna do a fundraising chat tonight, but wife and I need your help right now. I put my Cash App in the comments. I'm gonna put it up again, but we need
How much do you need?
Whatever you can spare for right now to get us through the next month or so.
Because really your best bet is, I mean, I get it. You know, this is a nice route, but also another route you might want to take is what's that thing? Kickstarter or whatever.
That'll be next. That'll be next.
That should be now. You know what? This is what you do. I'm gonna tell you how you get over.
All right.
Don't necessarily do it for charity. I mean, you can make two of them. You can do one for charity, or you can do one to have them help you raise money to, you know, learn how to do something stupid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do two, because people will like somebody became damn near a millionaire putting up a $2 bid to learn how to make French toast, and they almost became a millionaire overnight.
I will check it out.
Right. So do two.
I'm just thinking ahead right now because I am disabled at the moment.
It's cool.
And
throw it up there. We'll
yeah.
Somebody send it to me because I'm on my phone.
The Cash App is in the chat, and Charles just posted it. And Charles, thank you for that.
Woo! Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be on tonight. I'll be on tonight about 8:00 after I tape my last interview. And yeah, I got some sports things to break down that you won't hear on the morning program. And I'm going to say everything honestly, even more honestly than I do in the morning. But yeah, this combo culture thing that Charles talked about so eloquently, man, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Excuse me, Snowman?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. Since I remember Charles brought up about something his mom said about them growing up. First of all, Charles, your mother's a boomer just like your dad, correct?
Both my parents are boomers.
Okay. Snowman.
Yes.
Just for old time's sake, could you please quote Mr. George Carlin from the baby boomers?
The baby boomers. Whiny, narcissistic, self-indulgent people with a simple philosophy. Give me that, it's mine. Give me that, it's mine. These people were given everything. Everything was handed to them. And they took it all. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And they stayed loaded for 20 years and had a free ride. But now they're staring down the barrel of middle-aged burnout. And they don't like it. So they turn self-righteous. They want to make things hard on younger people. They tell them abstain from sex. Say no to drugs. As for the rock and roll, they sold that for television commercials a long time ago. So they can buy pasta machines and Stairmasters and soybean futures.
I'm gonna tell you what.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I fixed it.
I'm gonna say this real quick, then I'm gonna give the mic to Dari. He hasn't said anything yet. I'm gonna say this.
I didn't even get a chance to say what I wanted to say.
All right, we'll give it to.
I'm gonna go ahead and. I'm gonna go ahead and step away because I got some edits to do from this morning. But Charles, thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. And
I can't wait to hear your predictions about this season.
Yeah,
and also another thing, to do your play-by-plays of all the preseason games.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun to do. Let me step on away. I'll be on at 8:00 tonight, gentlemen. Thank you.
Woo. And by the way, thank you, Big Kev, for supporting my mans. And thank you for the Cash App. Let me see if you supported my Cash App as well. Shout out to Big Cabs, man. And I'm gonna say the last name, Bert. Thank you for the cash app. Thank you. I'm gonna say this. It's gonna have to be us to be our own fucking superheroes. We can't have, I don't mind women talking our talking points. Yes, it's a sign of support and solidarity. But they can't be the ones leading. They can't be having. It's funny how you have some people struggling with 2, 3,000 subscribers, and the women automatically get 12, 20, and 40,000 subscribers. I can understand the Crimson Cure because she's been there for a long time and a long time supporter, so I don't mind her. But these Janie come latelys, they can come out the woodwork, boom, 12,000 subscribers. You got guys like Bitter Truth, who's been. If you really want to know the history of Pan Africanism, and you want to talk about a very in-depth look at the diesel culture and the psyche of women, you would have to go to Bitter Truth's channel and listen to what he talks about, because he lives in Atlanta. He's been a photographer. He knows in and out the mentality of a lot of these women.
That's why I don't have the problems that other brothers have that be having me shrugging my shoulders. I'm like, why'd you go with that bitch? Are you crazy?
You should have seen it a mile away.
Yeah.
It's like you should be at 35, 40. And I'm going to tell you, at 25, you should be seeing a lot of shit. I'm not saying you're going to see everything, but you should see a lot of shit coming down the pipe now. Especially since a lot of the stuff that me and Bay experienced, we had to live it when all you had to do was listen to the older men. I mean,
you had to go through the lies and the brutality of the female nature. I steer so far away from that shit. It's ridiculous. The first time you act like you want to hit me, we're done. And I've had women put their hands on me, and we were we're done.
There's no fucking reason Black men should be going through the same bullshit that we went through, and we're telling you very candid stories of how to avoid those type of women.
Well, do understand we get registered as, these niggas lame, they don't know how to control a woman and all of this shit. And it's like, nigga, you cannot control another human being outside of them calling you massa. You know what I'm saying? And you running around with a whip. You can forget it. People gonna do what the fuck they gonna do, no matter how they present themselves to you. I had an ex-girl. I've had 3 bad relationships, and it was because I ignored red flags off the bat. One of them, I used to tell the little slut what the fuck she was finna run out here and do, be it that day or in the next couple of days, and she'd look at me like I was crazy, and then she'd turn around and do the shit anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised when it happened.
Like, yeah, you can't. Can I be serious for a second? We're gonna get to you, Dari. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good, Charles. Whenever, just let me know.
A lot of niggas. This is the reason why. Another reason that just popped up in my head what Bay said. The reason why a lot of niggas don't support their interests is because a lot of you niggas are you dress red pill, but you act weird than a motherfucker. I'm gonna start calling you Vanilla Sky.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. I'm gonna let you ride on that one. Go ahead.
Because I'm about to go in on that shit. How the fuck?
Wait. Before you do that, let your boy go ahead and speak. Why don't you make that your closing statement?
You're right. Go ahead, Dari, because that'll be a whole.
Hey, can you hear me, Charles?
You loud and clear, man. Go ahead.
All right, salute to the panel. I'm gonna be real brief, but try to come through when I can. Charles, appreciate everything you do, as well as everybody else. Couple things, man. I was on Facebook earlier today, and I saw the most goofiest shit ever, right? This chick made a post and said, imagine someone going to Harriet Tubman and saying men are supposed to lead. I'm like, what the fuck? And so, you know, I started
Wait,
to
wait,
be
wait, wait, wait.
ignorant and
What?
say,
Imagine Harriet Tubman. What and what?
imagine someone going to Harriet Tubman and saying men are
Mhm.
supposed to lead.
Like she would have a problem with that.
Oh,
She didn't want to have to do what she had to do, but it was because nobody else would do it. I guarantee you, if a black man still doesn't say, "Yo, Harry, sit down, I got this. Just give me your maps and tell me what to look out for.
Matter of fact,
Write me a diary of what to do." I guarantee you, she would have done it.
hey, check this out though, right? So, you know, we tend to fall into the trap of emotionally reacting, right? And not thinking.
Mhm.
go ahead, Dari.
Sorry. I think he's bored himself or some. Sorry,
Dari,
check out and come back in. Disconnect and come back in. Maybe this one. I think it's got a connection problem.
we can't hear you, Dari. Oh, okay.
Yeah, damn cell phone.
Go ahead, Nate.
One thing I wanted to ask earlier was because you guys were talking about Amiri and shit. My question is this: do you remember a certain content creator who got caught busted cheating? He's been like, "Fuck it, I'm a name drop. Derek Jackson.
Okay.
Could we say that Amiri is copying, or should I say Xerox, his entire playbook in a sense,
Well, he's
or in
he's
a similar vein as him?"
he's the great value version of Derek Jackson.
No. There's a reason I'm saying that. Bitter. There's a reason I'm saying that.
He's
His
like
can just said, wait. His can just says food on it.
he's not even FDA grade A eggs. He's like grade B. Like,
right. I know who Amari is.
let me put it to you this way.
Wait.
It
First of
doesn't
all,
work because of
I don't know this grading thing, Charles, because you're dealing with somebody from the third world. Can you please explain here? I'm third world ignorant here for a minute.
in other words, grade value or Dollar Tree is the lowest form of shit you could get. It's like instead of frosting flakes, you get flakes. Instead of like 3 little fucking dwarfs or whatever the fuck fairies, whatever the fuck they are, you get like badly drawn smudge shit from Mexico.
Smoking a cigar.
Smoking a cigar on a kid's fucking
with a fucking mustache and 5 o'clock shadow.
Instead of fucking you get Fruity Lows. And like they don't even come in a box, they just come in the bag and say, "Here you go." Like that's why we call it
great. Sounds like flashbacks to my childhood in the Middle East.
They get the overrun shit and bag shit that low value companies pay for and turn around and repackage and resell.
Like that knockoff shit. Like the knockoff shit, because I remember seeing plenty knockoff shit back in the Middle East. But the reason I'm saying this is because what if? Because I remember somebody certain YouTuber who does psychological profiles, profiled Jackson. And what if I were to say that maybe Amiri has a similar type of similar type of mindset or mentality like that?
Well, the real question is, why do you want to compare him to Derek Jackson so bad?
I'm not comparing him so bad. What I'm saying is, this guy is obviously, if you said what happened when he debated BGS and what kind of headache that was. That's why you didn't want to mess with him, right? So
look, the whole thing is this. The whole thing is this. Okay, go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is, as far as Charles goes, he should make in war games. The only winning move is not to play.
There you go. Because
call out, debunk, and move on.
I mean, this dude can't even carry. He can't even carry the strap of a Derek Jackson, because if you look at Derek Jackson, he former football player.
It's like
medium shirts.
Extra medium.
Yeah, extra medium. So he came across as like eye candy for women while kissing women's asses, and it wasn't a matter of him getting on panels and debates and back and forth. He would just drop what he had to say and call it a day. And you see what he had at home. I mean, what he had at home, clearly that was a business move for him. Okay, he could have easily have been with somebody's Becky. Okay, top shelf Becky. He could have easily have been with one of them. But the thing is that he would have been forced to produce. But with a chick like that, I mean, you see what she looked like. She looked like she overshot her skis, which is what I be trying to tell. I tried to tell brothers a long time ago. Y'all arguing over these chicks that, you know, really, in all honesty, you overshooting your skis, even though you trying to go skiing in a dumpster, but you still overshooting your skis.
Yeah.
Right.
Bitter.
So
Hold on a second, Bitter.
So I think she was taking. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, man, but after Snowman's show earlier today, I don't think we should be using the word skeet because we've been using Little John references all day long. We've been laughing real hard about him. So all that skeet to give, motherfucker.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. I will. Okay, we'll move on. I'm done with the skiing reference. At any point, the thing is that if he would have got with somebody's top flight Becky or Veronica or Mary or Mariah or whatever, he would have had to produce. Instead, he got with somebody that looked like she has no problems paying to keep her man. I mean, for Christ's sake, you saw the videos. That whole Christ warrior in Christ shit, where she had the camouflage on, like, girl, you know how goofy you look right now, sitting up here trying to defend. Why you gonna stay with your husband, knowing damn well that this ain't the first? Wait. You know that ain't the first. You know that ain't the first time she caught him cheating. Because the first time a woman catch you cheating, she will flip the fuck out on you. That's not the first time she caught him cheating. The problem is that it went public.
She used to it.
Actually,
of course.
I will actually concur. This probably ain't the first time she called him cheating. People knew out in the open. The difference is
this one was more public.
Internet arena public, but there's such thing as small area public in the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, this was a public. This right here, it was public. Just like Vanessa and Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Vanessa knew Kobe Bryant, but I mean, come on now. Shit, she was on the basketball circuit.
Became new public instead of the small neighborhood public.
See,
right. This is the world now knows your business.
See, you gotta make it. You gotta
let him in that one time.
You gotta make it very clear. One, Derek would not be able to live with a woman who equals him in value and beauty.
Of course not.
Because one, Derek is insecure.
Yes.
And you can see that.
He's also
because
a narcissist.
What? A guy who looks like he does, if he does, trust me, and I've done this many of times, and Bay, another Dari, Mel electrician knows where I'm going. The most ass you will get, fuck a relationship right now, the most ass you will ever get is being a pure, unadulterated asshole.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And
that's a fact.
And I'm going to tell you,
shout out to Greg over in Cleveland.
If he wasn't trying to make a business out of this, he could literally be the greatest thing since Kevin Samuels and start saying, you know what, you bitches do need to get in shape. And you know what will happen? Because and I've told many women of this, if you find me attractive, I don't have to take you out to eat. I don't have to do shit. You will fuck me because you find me physically attractive.
Bingo. That's the biggest
I don't have
name.
to do shit. Now, if you're like a guy like a Mary who had to pay a tax, he claims he was this handsome guy back in the day. I'm sorry.
Dad bod.
I'm sorry.
Dad bod.
Sean Connery, you are not my nigga.
Dad bod.
And that's one of the big major components right there.
Oh,
Derek has the look that most percentage of women, I'll say all races, want, and he used that to his advantage.
Yeah.
He could have told the truth like Kevin Samuels did, and still we become a successful millionaire. But he used his own lane what he was doing and stuff. Let's go against the green. Gained twice as much more money, but then he got sloppy. Now Mary not gonna beat Derek Jackson because he doesn't have the looks. Now let's compare him to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is
That's not what I said about looks. I said
Steve Harvey is a hold on, Nemo. Steve Harvey is a celebrity stuff that live a player lifestyle and so-called reformed. Don't get it fooled. Steve Harvey and Derek Jackson is very red pill and shit, but they know where the most money they can make, especially quick money and stuff. Derek has the looks. Steve Harvey has money and resources. He's going to be bigger and shit. You know, so.
But see, that's the problem when you know, the problem is just going back to what you said, Charles. When you are unfiltered, unadulterated, straight up, flat out truth, blunt with it, no tact whatsoever, man. I mean, that's the real. See, because the thing about it is that too many times is that when you talk about content creators like Mr. Brown, you want to be agreeable, you want to read all the feminist books, you want to, educate yourself on what the feminist books. You take it. You was in a camp with a woman who talked about eliminating black men reproducing with black women. You took it from a eugenics standpoint. And the thing about it is but you was hanging with this woman until she booted you, kicked you to the curb. But you still using these talking points, and you don't realize and get it that, bro, that's not where it's at. Those pats on the heads to get those likes and that attention to get all that pat. And that's what I tell, Bitter, you said something before. It's like this. Man, too many guys out here, they want the pat on the head from a woman or get the okay that you're a real man.
That's exactly all it is. That's why he do it.
That's all it is.
That's why he do it, because he get attention from women, and he grew up without it.
Yep. And here's the thing about it, though. But when you come from a place like I come from, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. Oh, you be shocked how things move. Kind of a little bit different. Actually, it moves in the way you should. It needs you to move how it should be moving. And the thing about it is that most guys, I keep telling guys, I said, man, y'all sitting over here, you want to sweet talk this woman who giving it up to everybody and everything, and it's gonna be a guy who's unfiltered, and he gonna be sitting there getting it and taking your money, this guy's money, this other guy across town's money, and guess what? She coming back and just giving it to him. Okay,
you know
and
what?
This is what.
You on 100%. You're on 100% right track. Because my thing is this, like, okay, getting back to your boy, Derek Jackson. In all honesty, I think his whole YouTube career began by him just saying all the things on video that his wife wanted to hear. And he saw that it suddenly became profitable for him to where now he was wearing the pants in the house. You know what I'm saying? Where he was now wearing the pants in the house. Well, he's right, but do understand once all that cheating shit got out and him putting her on video is that, hey, all that is now, it was threatened to go away, and it has went away.
Right,
it's gone now. So he had to preserve, because no telling, when you know how it is with niggas and new money, you can forget it. They waiting on the next like motherfuckers on YouTube waiting on the next YouTube check to drop at the first of the month. They waiting on that. That's what he was. I believe that's really kind of how motherfuckers get the living.
That's not a living to me. The thing is,
right? That's a survival.
That's just and this is what I'm coming from. Instead of you trying to, look, man, you got to be the entertainer. You got to play security guard. You got to be the pit bull. You got to do all this shit okay, that you shouldn't be doing, and then when it comes to the real shit you're supposed to be doing, okay, it's far in between because you're too busy entertaining. You too busy telling pillow talking with the bullshit lies. Okay, and you caught up in all of that just because you want some ass. Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Well, see,
man.
that's the problem with your boy. When you don't, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about yourself that you want to, but what comes out of your mouth as an adult over the age of 30, especially somebody that's married with kids, you supposed to know better simply based on experience with women, not to be saying no stupid shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
because
what makes matters,
you
right,
be goddamn pissed if your daughter or your son was talking, especially your son, because you're like, damn, nigga, where your backbone? But this is the problem when you grow up in a, okay, I always say that there's shades of blackness. Okay, even in a poor black neighborhood, there's shades of blackness. There's always the kid, you know, the nerdy kid that normally stay in the house, you know, or there's the nerdy kid that actually do come outside and he cool, you know, he tried a little bit too hard to fit in. He ain't got to do all that, but he's straight. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the regular kids, and then you've got the roughneck who's probably leading the group, well, however it goes, you know. But them kids that stay in the house, you know, them little nerdy kids, the geeky kids, the ones that's scared to come outside and play, especially now when this generation where nobody comes outside to play.
Yeah, brother, but you understand why that is, though, right?
Well, hold on, Pete. They don't know how to interact with the opposite, both boys and girls. They don't know how to interact with the opposite sex outside of a school setting because they don't really too much go nowhere.
That's called social programming, though.
Right. You know, but the thing is, this is why it's so important for you to push your kids out to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even in high school, join a club, go get your ass out the fucking house and go develop some social skills. Learn how to navigate in this world because I can't always fight your battles for you. But so you get these dudes who grow up where they mamas always coddled them, and then they get out here into the world and they just kowtow to anything a woman says because that's how they were brought up. They're just yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. And they put up with all types of bullshit. But those of us who actually went outside, you know, after doing homework and chores and shit and didn't have to come in till the street lights came on. I mean, there were shit things I saw and done. My mother would be shocked if she knew I saw or I did that. Do you understand? I mean, we talking about seeing murders, accidents that result in death. I mean, we talking about on several occasions. Okay, I grew up in Cleveland.
Laid out on the street.
Right, gunshots going off. You just outside, y'all fucking on the bus going to the mall and gunshots break out. You know, not on the bus, but just outside, right there on the side of the bus. I've been here in Atlanta and walking from the store to my house, and some dude just walked up to some chick and started wailing on her. You know, I mean, I'm like, what the fuck? This was back in my 20s. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, all that superhero shit and I'll save her and be Mr. Captain Save-A-Ho. All that shit go out the window when you actually are faced with it.
Bro, that Captain Save-A, that's the red boot, the red boots and that blue cape is getting
that shit get you killed.
It's getting motherfuckers killed.
It is a very dangerous, even as a police officer, that shit is dangerous for us.
Yeah, you stay, hey, unless I got some mace or a billy club or a taser, I'm not just by myself trying to drag these two apart, especially two women. I know at least if I show up on Charles, tell me if I'm wrong. What would you rather show up on as far as, like a fight? Between two women or a man and a woman?
Now,
which one would you rather show up on?
If it's a man and a woman and it's a domestic, because men and women can fight and not be domestic. I rather challenge the man than those two women, because those two women are usually going to use blades. Because that's what you're going to do. At least with the dude.
Does he automatically, when you pull up, do he automatically all of a sudden act like he wasn't doing nothing?
He either act like he doing nothing or he runs. But
right.
The chicks are going to keep fighting. They don't give a fuck who's around. The chicks are going to keep fighting, and then they're going to swing. They swing it so wild, they hit you. Now you hit them, and they like, oh.
And now you on ABC Action 5.
Right. We just had.
And they wonder why cops was no longer allowed to shoot in Baltimore.
Shit. This shit, you get your ass whooped.
Wait, was somebody about to say they had a case? What was your case? Because we just had one too.
We just had we had 3 incidents within the last month here in the city of Detroit, right?
Okay.
3 incidents. Okay. Yeah, the one went on Hip Hop World Star where the girlfriend got into it with a boyfriend. She told her brothers, one got murked, the other one got shot. They both.
They ran up in the house. Yeah.
Yes, they kicked the door in. And wait a minute, here's the killer part about this.
They kicked the door in?
They kicked the door in. The
then you deserved it.
Okay, the agreement is that they was gonna have a fist fight. Okay, everybody, all right, and then the 2 brothers go over there, kick in his door, and that's why he went out. You heard 5 gunshots. The one brother is dead. The other one got shot, and then after all of that was done, she goes back over there saying, "Can I get my phone back?" We just had a guy. We just had a guy who was working security, right? One dude and his girl got into it. He gonna put on his red boots and blue cape on, and he gonna call. Well, I'm gonna save her. My man got ran over. He got ran over by my man. My man just ran him over. Okay. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
I guess he ain't bulletproof.
Nah. And the thing about, what all these women were saying? Oh, they were heroes. Hero? That's a stupid motherfucker. That's what it is.
Bitch, heroes saved the day. These niggas lost.
They lost.
Excuse me, did you not see Infinity War? Them niggas didn't die as heroes. They lost.
They lost.
That was as big as the Empire Strikes Back. You lost, my nigga.
You know what makes that person? Hey, fellas. You know what that makes that person?
What?
Cannon fodder.
Cannon fodder?
Cannon fodder.
Yeah. Oh, that was a verbal pass. Yeah,
think about it.
So what's the third one?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. You say you had 3 stories?
No. I mean, no. It was 2, not 3. I'm sorry, it was just 2. But my point, going back to what Charles was saying, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off because I'm on the ground right now, fellas. But going back to that third phase of change, we gotta change policy. See, a lot of this fuckery that's going on is because of the policies that are here now and that are being implemented. This is the reason why you get all this self-destruction. These are the reason why you have the Amari Browns saying what they say. Because I can tell you this, once the policies start changing, them cats ain't got nothing else to say no more. They ain't got nothing else to say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be smooth. I'm gonna keep on listening.
All right.
Let me tell my story.
Go ahead.
Charles, you'll love this one. You'll love this one, Charles. So some black chick, one of these aunties, she was in the park with some dude at night out here in Atlanta, and it was illegal to be in the park after 10 o'clock. So here, the cop, he was issuing them a ticket. He explained to them, here, either you can sign the ticket, or you can go to jail. So just sign
You
here.
know my story.
And what
Yeah,
it
we know all
was,
about this.
yeah, what it was, they tried to play it. Her people tried to play it like, oh, he just ran up and just started slamming her all on the ground and she fighting. Oh, and her wig coming off. No, that ain't what happened. Okay, because do understand, I'm here in Atlanta. I know exactly what the fuck was really going on. What it was, she was down here. She was somebody's guest here. Somebody that's got, a little pull here in the city, got a little power. But the thing is that nigga, if you ain't got chief of police power, then just because you know a few cops or whatnot don't mean shit. They might be able to help you get out of a ticket. But the shit that she pulled, because all she had to do was just sign the goddamn citation and then turn around and ask her homegirl, hey, can you take whoever she was here to see, which was probably another chick, here, can you take care of this for me? Me and Jason was in the park trying to, I was trying to suck his dick and cops rolled up on us here, whatever. And then it get handled. But she was trying to down talk him like he was a child, like she was his superior. And see, this is something that white women are known for doing this. They're really good for doing this with cops, where they talk down to you like you're their child or something, like how dare you? And that was the attitude she was giving them. And she didn't want, then the dude signed his ticket. He signed his ticket like, yeah, let me sign my ticket. Okay, cool. So then when she went to sign her, she wanted to be defiant. She wanted to ask him all these questions and badge numbers and first names. And he was like, I'm not giving you my first name.
Yo,
Like,
I never seen a woman scream for Jesus so much that's not getting laid. Oh God, oh God. I'm like, damn. I don't know if she having an orgasm or she's trying to have a heart attack.
You sure she wasn't possessed by the Holy Spirit now?
Like crazy.
No. You sure she didn't catch the Holy Ghost?
That dude. That's what I'm saying.
She got the Holy Ghost ass whooping is what she got.
I seen a grown woman turn into a 3-year-old in the back of the seat.
No? Can I ask you something?
I'm gonna tell you what.
Can I ask you something now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now I need to ask you a question. Have you ever been to a Pentecostal church?
Nah.
Because I was once invited to one, right? And I was watching how going through when they started, meditating, praying, and next thing you know, everybody starts talking in tongues and shit. And as a motherfucker with PTSD and as an Orthodox, I'm like, okay, and with my paranoid being what it is, I'm thinking, okay, when are they gonna bring out the pitchforks and the pentagrams? Because I think I'm about to get crucified here. I was scared right there.
Shout out to Electrician for
shit out of me.
Super chat.
Woo. Oh wait, Charles, you forgot to say obrigado, mi hermano, which means thank you, my brother, in the Portuguese, because Electrician's been to Brazil.
Oh yeah. See, we're gonna give
obrigado, mi hermano.
We're gonna give the floor back to Dari. You still there, Dari?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you clear?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
What's good, everybody? So, yes, having issues with my phone. But anyway, about that chick I was telling y'all about earlier up on Facebook, right? So when she made that comment, I had to check myself because I was going to go ham on that chick and start some shit. But I went ahead and started looking at her profile. It comes to find out she's just basically a shock jock. She was just basically saying shit to get the Strag Nation, riled up or whatever, right? Shout out to AM. But I started a comment and say, hey, it'd be an amazing thing if, somebody walked up to a modern black woman and told her that, she needed to be a helpmate. Would have shut that shit down, right? But they're not ready for that. They ain't ready for that.
See, the reason why they're not ready for it is because they're not trained for it. You gotta look at it because a lot of these black women out here, know that they're not wife material. But they're gonna talk a big game. You ever seen a nigga who talks the loudest but don't want to fight, but he wants to try to back you down for fighting? But he's
Oh,
talking.
no doubt. No doubt. Verbal judo all day.
Yeah, that's the same thing they're doing. Yeah. These black men need to be better. For what?
Well, here's the thing, Charles. I mean, you know, we done talked about this before. You know, everything's backwards right now, right? All the men out here, I ain't gonna say all, but a lot of these men out here looking for attention and validation, and all the women out here looking for resources and accomplishments now. Shit's all backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they wonder why they don't have any suitable men out here, quote unquote, to find. And it ain't no big secret why the women are acting up how they act. And we got damn near 4 generations of this goofy shit with no end in sight.
And it's literally some of the saddest shit you'll ever see. I mean, think about it. You got mothers chasing the same men their daughters are dating.
Hell, you got them going to the club together.
You got them twerking together. Like, what the fuck? What the?
I go as far as this, man. They even giving head with their daughter's boyfriend.
Did you see that shit?
Especially that one chick that I saw when she was asked, "What's the freakiest thing you done?" I sucked a guy's dick along with his mother.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a multi-million-dollar industry for a reason.
Yeah.
Hey, my thing is this, man. We getting to the point. We getting to the point, man, where it's like, look.
we seeing
Okay,
stuff
hold on
in
a
the
second.
porn
Hold on,
movies
Dart.
come to life.
Wait up. Hold up, Charles. Can you put up CJ the Conqueror for a minute? You see what I see, gentlemen?
You see him with his
father with his child, with his son, and look at how that boy is.
Happy
because he knows he's being raised right.
Yeah.
He's happy and he's being raised right by stand-up father. So that boy's gonna grow up to be a stand-up man.
See, I'm sorry, I'm confused. I really want to put up a study, right, of how damaging a black, or not even just a black one, a single mother is to a boy. Where you engage in fellatio with his girlfriend on your son.
Mm-hmm.
Do understand that's not new.
That's not new.
Yeah, we know it's not new. Yeah, it's been going on for decades.
But to actually hear
doing
somebody admit to not only seeing it but then being a part of it, that's even worse.
You see it and you don't walk out the door.
Right.
Exactly. It's not, and not only that, they presently doing it also too. I mean, it's not like they speaking like a past tense. No, they actually actively doing it presently and openly proud, like to do it. Like, damn, what the hell?
Like that's
I know you're not related to them, but even still, like.
But I'm sorry.
That's son husband to a whole new level.
I'm convinced that if you that's an Oedipus complex to the motherfucker.
Super incest going on right there, man.
Like
I've been saying all along what men and women are really asking for, if you really listen to what they asking for, are pseudo incestuous relationships.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay all the bills because then I feel like I'm fucking my daughter. And she shouldn't want him to pay all the bills because she should feel like she's fucking her dad. Because he's going to tell her no, just like her dad. And what the fuck can she do about it but pout like a little kid? That's pseudo incestuous.
See,
I remember when Alan Roger Curry said
sugar daddy, sugar mama thing is about.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mel.
I remember when Alan Roger Curry was saying in one of his videos how Hollywood would never actually put a 100% full red pill movie out in the open. And when he said something about adult movies, that technically, if you want to really see the red pill reality of people's sexual nature, it's actually in porn, but they present it as a fantasy. But that shit goes on in real life. But people don't believe it might happen because you see the stream shit. But even the stream shit happens in real life. People are turned on by that shit. They actually do that shit. Bro,
People are turned on by turned on by being shit on.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
a reality.
They do
Yeah.
exactly.
And I'm
Brother
just,
Dubois,
Gaslighting
you
two
see
girls in a cup. That's a reality somewhere.
I'm just looking at it where
Blech.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
I just look
Especially
at this shit.
Patrice's breakdown on that shit.
I look at shit.
Kittens and puppies. Kittens and puppies. What were you saying?
I look at this shit like, yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I think it's mentally dangerous to leave a son with a mother that fucking long. So you're telling me this mother been looking at her son for how long? And
Probably since he was 14.
she probably was like walking in on him, trying to find him sleep, trying to peek in on him, like to look at his dick. And I'm like, that's disturbing.
Just think about the first time he got a hard on around her and they were alone by themselves. And what she probably may have said or done.
I'm just thinking like that's mental fucking illness. Human beings have a really natural discord about mating with their relatives. It's just innate in our brains. Do you know how much brainwashing and mental fucking manipulation you have to do to make a motherfucker fuck a relative?
Charles, remember Greek
You know what
mythology?
time, what year we live in right now?
Charles, Greek mythology shows a lot of that.
Yeah.
Our Greek gods, Zeus marrying his sister, wife.
Yeah.
How many times you had sex with
Human beings have a natural.
all types of incest shit in
I'm
there.
just gonna tell you, human beings have.
I mean, look at the ancient Egyptians. The royal family was incestuous. That's why you look at some of the.
But guess what?
The ancient Egyptians. Yeah, I mean.
You have a natural disposition against incest. It has to be brought up culturally. You have to literally brainwash a motherfucker to do it. And if you got a boy that long in your presence and he starts coming of age in the adolescence and he gets a hard on, an erection, whatever you want to call it, and this is a bitch who can't get a man,
That's why they marry him. That's why they used to marry him off early.
And Charles, notice this is the funny thing about it though. They presented for many years. They presented from the man's point of view of the sexual desires, even the crazy sick shit. That's why they get on the men so much. But they don't want to present the woman's sexual point of view of this shit also too. They just as much in this as they feel the man is. But it's easy to do it for the man's point of view because we easy targets to ridicule. But you're not doing that to the females. You remember when Kevin Durant had openly admitted that
one thing you got to consider,
cousin, and I'm going to continue doing it. Like what the?
Well, look at Kevin Durant. What is
one thing?
Hold on.
What about Kevin Durant and his mother? Because I've heard nothing but that.
Look at Kevin. You talking about Kevin Durant admitted to fucking his cousin. And you think that's forward for Kevin Durant? Look at how he kisses his mother in public.
How does he kiss his mother in public? Like a on the lips smooch, or are they like sucking bottom lips? Is it tongue? What's going on?
I don't.
You're more like Angelina Jolie and her brother with a kiss.
Damn near attached to her titty, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that's disgusting. Like at some point, you gotta.
Maybe his mother was his first sex teacher.
I mean, shout out to Jim Jones.
I mean, look at R. Kelly. I mean, what was the Antoine Fisher story about?
Oh,
I mean,
he was molested by a foster parent, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's still, older woman, younger boy.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Bitter, because I remember Dr. T. Hassan. On one of his panels, they had to talk about sexual abuse of black boys in the black family, right? And one aspect I mentioned, I wanted brought up, but it was never brought up, was the aspect of homophobia. Because if, say, a black boy had an unwanted sexual experience with an older woman, what's the rationale they're going to use to avoid, accountability? They're going to say some shit like, well, at least he ain't gay.
Look.
At least we know now he likes girls, or some shit like that.
Oh, that's because for some reason, the ramifications of a boy being raped outside of a girl being raped is completely different because the girl can get pregnant. Okay. You can seriously mentally unstable a chick where she could become like some type of serial killer or just, or a whore or something. She'll find you can like really fuck her up, but they don't really go into the validation as far as the ramifications where it happens to boys, where they can't form long-term attachments to people. They're always looking for the next thrill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like they're always using sex. They're trying to find sex to fill the hole that was dug out of them by the molestation.
They're trying to explain.
Another thing you got to mention. Hold on.
They're trying to explain sexuality.
Yeah.
Okay. But another misconception you have about black boys who've been molested, they always assume because he's molested, he's going to go on to molest other people when he becomes adult, which is not true. That's extremely rare.
It's not 100% true, but it does happen.
But not
it's small. I'm getting to that. I'm trying to get to that. Very rare is what I said.
But we don't know that.
Yeah, let me get to that.
But we don't actually know that. Because think about it. Think about it.
Bitter.
How many?
Hear me out.
Think about it. Wait. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. How many molesters actually get caught? When we live in a culture that protects Uncle Bad Touch, how many molesters actually get caught and go to jail and then get categorized and analyzed and psychoanalyzed, and then boom, we can now put them as a part of the study group?
Fair point, but what I'm trying to get at is it's not just in black folks, because let's not forget black folks are the canary in the coal mine. So from the greater society as a whole, I'm saying there's that common misconception, and most people who've been touched end up, they try to hide that because they're still dealing with the trauma and the shame of it, and eventually that comes out and destroys them one way or another. That's why some even end up end up taking their own lives because of guilt and shame.
Here's two things. When you say we're the canary in the coal mine, you're right, because when the slave master and the overseers and their sons and friends would dip into the black female quarters, if it was whatever you fancied, it was whatever you fancied.
There was a thing called buck breaking.
And if you ever seen the movie Goodbye Uncle Tom, it was worse than Roots and worse than Uncle Tom's Cabin. And what was the movie? What was that movie Ken Norton Sr. was in? Where he was
Mandingo.
Yeah, it was worse than Mandingo. Mandingo had nothing on Goodbye Uncle Tom, because they gave you the truest live action account of slavery than you could ever imagine. Was that
where they had the crazy guy walking in on the girl?
It was shot from a first person's point of view. Okay, like it was really shot it was shot POV style from a first person's point of view. It was very revolutionary for its time. The guy, he was an Italian guy, him and his crew would, they were visiting these plantations, hey, we're back in time and we're here visiting these plantations. And so they're going to to the buck house, the bed buck house. And they show these girls who are 14, 13 years old. They put them in the dresses, and then they got the dudes locked up in cages, and they open the cage and push the girl in there and lock the door.
Oh.
and he would just go ahead. They would just be breaking these girls in, like stallions. And then they would talk about, where these are really girthy men. So therefore the men with the big girth, talking about the penises, they help facilitate better, stronger slaves. So they putting these virgin little underage girls in there with them, and they're just getting broken out. They showed the young girl, the underage girl, like the guy was staying at the plantation, the filmmaker, and he went in his room, and there's this 13-year-old black girl in his room. Okay. And she was, because this was what she does at 13 years old, she's a bed wench. She went through the art of seducing him for sex because he didn't want to do it.
Oh, wow.
Right. So the name of the movie again is Goodbye, Uncle. Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
People think, you gotta think about it, man. In our community, we have so much shit that
unresolved shit.
Well, that was just my first point with that. The other thing, what was the other thing you mentioned?
Talking about, well, since we talked about that ancestral relationship shit.
Right. So if we're the canaries in the coal mine, if this was what was going on the plantation, I can only imagine how much of that is going on in Black society. Do you understand? Because a lot of girlfriends, I remember growing up. I mean, this was shocking to me. I thought it was odd, and until I was old enough to understand, was that I dated a lot of girls in junior high and high school, who always would tell me this story about them being molested by a family member, a male family member. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And they're not in jail. They didn't go to jail.
Because it was kept hush hush.
Right.
Because the family didn't want to admit that child was touched.
And guess who?
Sometimes it wasn't even a family member. Sometimes it wasn't even a family member. It could be somebody from within the community. Somebody
You got the female older siblings that's telling them, don't say nothing, break up the family.
No. Guess who keeps it hush hush? Mom.
Mama.
Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma.
Grandma.
And sometimes
trying to stop their fathers from doing this job.
That's why your boy made the joke about, she over there with Uncle who? No, get him away from the kid. Give him Chris Rock.
Don't you live with Uncle
go
Johnny.
Get the kids.
Don't you live with your Uncle Johnny. And
exactly.
Then what he said afterwards. When we said, remember, when you get molested, your mom gets mad at you. Hang around what fucking Johnny. I told you about that shit. Now walk it off. Remember, walk it off.
Walk it off.
Walk it off.
Walk it off.
But what I wanted to say was this also. Sometimes it wasn't even a family member. It could be somebody from the community. How many times it could have been like a member from the church, for example, especially messing with
a community leader, a teacher. Yeah, I mean adults and kids.
Adults who are well, and the kids are too scared to tell because they're gonna get smacked down and be punished by the parents.
Dude, I told Marcus, I said, dude, I guarantee you, if you ask 5 women who were not in the modeling business, just regular average chicks, how often do they get approached sexually? Especially, when somebody asks them how much, or they get approached like they're a prostitute, I guarantee you they'll probably tell you at least once a day.
Yep. I'm going to tell you something. We have a very weird sexual fetish in our community where it's like, how many boys, and I've said this, and it took me a while to realize this shit.
Run, stupid.
How many boys, when they were still virgins, who was the more who was the more sexually aggressive, the boys or the girls?
The girls.
Girls all day.
Girls all day.
I want to
Jesus
take a
Christ.
look at the chat. Who was more sexually aggressive when you were still a virgin?
Be right back.
The boys or the girls?
The girls.
But yet, guess who they always say? It's always the
All
boys.
the boys are aggressive. Because the girl has possible deniability right from the jump off.
Because I've noticed this. The boys, most boys, if you don't introduce them to sex, they'll do the same bullshit. And shout out to the Cash App support, JC. Woo! It's funny. Most boys will play video games, hang with their boys. They go out fucking doing crazy shit, camping, whatever the fuck it is. And I mean, even look at Toya. Shout out to one of the beautiful women of the manosphere, Toya. She said, I mean, I had friends of mine urging me to lose my V card all through high school. So, I mean, everybody knew. When did you ever hear old people say fast ass boys? And it's funny, right? We'll get charged all up and down. What you trying to talk to my sister? You might be interested, but like I'm gonna tell you, even in my adult life, the women have always been ultra aggressive. Like I'm just wondering, but yet the first thing you'll hear, oh, these boys, all they want is one thing. That's the only thing y'all presenting. And most of those boys, they might like you, they think you're attractive, but most of them, if you're not trying to, you know, you're not really experienced. You're a little nervous as a boy, especially if you're a virgin. So a lot of this shit going here, and you hear the so-called, oh, these boys only want one thing. But you like, wait a minute, this chick just grabbed my shit, dick harder than a jail sentence, and in the Rubik's Cube put together, and then if you say no, you might get put into some of these terminologies where either you give me that or I'm going to tell people you try to take it.
Question
What
is
else?
reality.
Go ahead.
Look at some of these girls that always be teasing dudes sexually so much and shit like that, and get some benefits out of them. Yet they come back and complain about dudes sending them dick pics and all that shit. But yet you're flashing yourself online and teasing dudes, talking about, yo, I'm charging you this that to talk to me and all that shit. And you getting upset because you getting that certain type of attention at you the way you don't want to. I mean, that shit don't add up. Like, yo, you can't complain. Like, shush. I know. They were saying about Andrew Tate when he said one reason why I got banned because he said for some sexual assault, women are partly to blame for that and stuff. I know he may saying it's extreme and everything, but there might be a little percentage of truth behind that also too.
I'm gonna put it to you this way, right? I'm gonna put it to you this way. Don't forget to support. Hit a like button. Donate if you can. I'm gonna tell you something from my career as an officer. Out of nearly 15 years as a police officer, I've only handled one legitimate sexual assault case. And the sad part about it, I actually personally knew the girl.
Oh wow!
She was a cousin to one of my ex-girlfriends. Out of all the other cases, you heard chicks who wanted to look good in front of their father, chicks who had sex for money or cars or whatever, insert object here. But they said, I was, assaulted, but they only wanted to go there because they know that if they get a kit, they get all the stuff that comes with that kit. With the antibodies and all the stuff because that kit, they have medication so powerful in that rape kit. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I can say that, YouTube. This was This was a part of my career for a very long time. We're educating motherfuckers. They can actually, they have stuff like if the person had any transmitted diseases, they'd clean it up because it would be so called and so forth early. Even though technically, when they didn't want to report to the police, we can't report it, or better yet, they keep it on file. I think they keep it on file, but they don't report it to us. But they will call us anyway because of what she said to them. And I'm like, how many of these chicks are claiming this shit, and then coming out later on in life, they want to admit that it never happened, but yet the ruin has been done.
And no restitution. There's no recourse.
And you're right. There's no
way.
There's no recourse. Why can't you pay and be sued? And both the government and that woman should have, and whoever claimed that person did it, and it's not true, should pay restitution. They should pay, because you got to think about it. Do you know how fucked up your life will become? Was that over your head?
Charles, I'm gonna tell you something. I once had a debate with a friend of mine about that, because I posted a meme that said all women who falsely accused should go to jail. And he said, and he's not ADOS, he's Arab. Good dude, black Arab, but we vibed on a lot of things. And he asked me, what do you think like that? And I explained to him, part by part, why these women should go to jail. And I explained to him what kind of an impact, the ripple effect impact there is when a man gets wrongfully convicted on a false accusation. First of all, it affects him. As we know, it's going to destroy his name, his reputation. He ends up being hamstrung and can never get a chance to get upward mobility. And he's always seen as a threat. His family, they're second to be affected, because first of all, this man who could have had a lot of great potential taken away from him. Now he's a liability. But because of this accusation, his family is going to be branded as housing a rapist and whatnot. There's guilt by association. And then the community, they're affected because of the accusation. Not only has a woman robbed a man of his dignity, robbed the family of someone who's a potential contributor, you've also robbed the community of someone who could have had long-lasting positive influence and impact in the community. This is detrimental on all levels to the individual, the individual's family, and the community as a whole. And when I explained that to him like that, he said, "Oh, I see." He understood exactly. Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring up another thing. If you're a virgin and if a girl tries to pressure you into sex and you say no, one thing they'll try to do is fuck with your ego by saying, "Oh, what are you, gay?"
Oh, that's the classic right there. That's the classic.
That's a classic, because that's the only thing they can use. Shaming tactics, and they're not going to attack your character. They're going to try to attack your ego. And young men have foolish pride and have that male ego.
Oh, that is a classic.
And that's why I remember somebody once asked me that question. I just looked at them and said, "I don't know. That depends. Are you a trans person?" And she backed up right there.
That is the classic trope. Are you gay?
Huh?
Maybe I just don't like you.
No more than you're a man.
Maybe I don't like you. Maybe that's the thing.
No woman can accept that a man may not find her attractive. You ever notice that? Yeah. We can accept the fact that a woman may not find us attractive, but if a man doesn't find a woman attractive, she can't deal with it. It's a huge blow to her ego. And she's like, no. She's got to rationalize by saying, "Oh, well, he's not my type," or he ain't this and that. In fact, bitter truth, you there?
No, he stepped away.
Okay. Who remembers the song "Wild and Loose" by The Time? Anybody remember saying The Time? There's a song called "Wild and Loose." That's on the second album.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, at the end of the song, there was a conversation. There were like these two girls who were fans, and one was talking about. She was just gushing about Morris Day, right? And she was talking about how she talked to him on the phone and said, and then she approached and said, "Hi, Morris." He said, "Do I know you?" She said, "Well, we talked on the phone." And he looked at her and said, "Well, you don't look like you sound." She said, "Excuse me?" "Well, that's all right. So I'll see you later." And as soon as he said that, she did a 180 and said, "He sucks. It's the worst show she's been and everything." Like he gave two fucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's what it is. It's like you don't have any rights. You don't have any choice. You're a piece of shit. Just live with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It gets back to that. But definitely, I'm gonna end it off on this one. I might come back on tonight. Thank you for everybody.
Oh, we gotta check out Snowman shit.
Oh yeah, thanks. Don't forget to support the Snowman. Go to his joint. Support. If you could put the link in the.
If you can't put money, put your hand over it. Put some good vibes on it, like BGS used to talk about at the pro-black meetings or the conscious meetings.
On it, get some good vibes. Get the old church music organ. Don't forget to support our boy Snowman while he does his stream.
Ooh yeah, I'm out of here. What makes your boy?
I know how we're gonna end it off on today.
Woo!